Dead straight.
Just a half club short.
This man is unreal. He was saying we wanted a hole in one today. He almost freaking did it. Guys, welcome back to another GM Golf video. Today, I'm back down here in Dallas at Glen Eagles Country Club. And today I'm back here with Brian Ziegler, the guy who you have seen in past videos where we've done a couple lessons. And we're gonna be on the course today. We're gonna be going through an on-course lesson. I'm not sure how many holes we will be playing, but he's gonna be teaching me a few things. Course management. What are the list of things that we're gonna be talking about today?
We're gonna go into course management. We're gonna do a little putting on the golf course since you said your putting wasn't very good. Throw ourselves into situations that we struggle with on the golf course and see how we can get out of them better.
I like it. I like it. This is something I really need to work on, course management, putting. A lot of you guys comment down below in the Sunday matches when I make stupid decisions like go for it in 2 and hit it in the water, kind of like on the first match of the season. Let's get into it out here at Glen Eagles. First hole, par 4 to the right. Something that we were kind of working on the range was I was standing a little too close to the ball, so I will be trying that a little bit on the course as well.
Good ball.
Thank you. Golf would be a lot easier if I could just hit shots like that every single time. I mean, that was a dead straight right side of the fairway, guys. I'll have a good shot at the green. All right, I'm also going to be filming Brian today. Do you want to play? All right, come on. A little left, that's fine though.
Ooh.
Good ball flight though, left side.
I forgot I told the starter I'm not playing, so I'll drop in the fairway.
Okay, sounds good.
If it hadn't rained for the past week, like you could have taken it more on this line and actually gotten really close to the green because you hit that one really well.
You got a 60 degree, you think that's the play?
Okay.
What would you prefer?
60 degrees fine. So we got to factor in a couple things here though, right? So we've gotten a ton of rain here in Dallas. Greens are probably going to be pretty soft. So I do a little thing, WELD, W-E-L-D, wind, elevation, lie equals our distance.
Right.
So we're a little bit downwind. Downwind's going to help about half of what it would hurt into the wind.
Right.
So if we're downwind, say 10 miles an hour, I take about 5% off the number.
Okay.
If I was into the wind about 10 miles an hour, I'm going to add about 10% into the number.
Okay.
So that's the difference between downwind and into the wind. 85 yards here, wind being, let's say it's 5 miles an hour down, we're going to take a couple off. So we're going to call it like 82.
Okay.
And then elevation's flat, lie is flat, ground's a little wet, so we just got to be cognizant of that we got a solid base so we don't slip out underneath it. So I'm trying to fly this shot 80 yards in the air and get it to stop, and we're going right at this pin.
Right.
You got a wedge in your hand, you don't have any trouble left or right. I expect you to hit a good one here.
Oh, that was terrible.
It's okay. Have another one. Good flight on that one. Yep, good shot, good number.
Thank you. First shot, probably 2 grooves low. Not a good shot, but we got a birdie look. Hopefully I can make that. Also, huge shout out to Brian. If you guys want to check out his socials, I will link that in the description down below. Here are the 2 balls. Walking up to the green, guys. One's at about 10 feet. The other one's long. Caught it a couple grooves low. I'm going to play both the balls and kind of see what I can do here.
And I'm starting to read the green when I'm walking from the golf cart, or if I was carrying my bag, I'd start to read it walking up to get like this big picture perspective on, is the green sloping back to front, front to back, left to right, whatever. You get a whole different view of it, because a lot of the times when you get in and you're looking at a putt, you get really narrowly focused on your line, and then you lose the big perspective of how much is this green really sloping front to back and things like that. So
I like it. I like it.
You're playing in a golf tournament, or you're playing in a match, you hit this shot into the green, you got 35 feet to the hole. What are you going to do?
I'm thinking about putting this one.
100%.
It looks like a green pretty much the whole way to the hole.
Yeah, so in Texas we get like really tight Bermuda, especially when it goes dormant. The ball rolls over it pretty good. There's not too many imperfections in it. And you're just at a higher percentage of having a good shot. If you took 1,000 shots at this, you're going to get them in a tighter circle than you would if you used a wedge.
Right. Yeah, that was a lot slower than I thought. That wasn't a very good putt, I'll be honest. That was pretty trash.
Take me through what your green reading procedure would look like.
First I mark it, and then I place that line down at where I think it's going to be.
Okay.
And then I stand behind it, and then I look, and I read it after that. And if like right now, if I was reading this putt, I would actually probably read this one from both ways.
Okay.
So if I feel really good about a putt and I'm standing behind it, then I won't go behind the hole.
Gotcha.
Before I give my guess, how much do you see this breaking?
No. Go ahead, what do you got?
I see like probably almost a foot.
Right about here?
Yeah. That's where I have my line at.
Okay, let's put it and see what happens.
All right.
That's pretty good.
I guess I read it right. I will say, like, that is my worst thing, is reading greens.
Okay.
especially when it comes to Bermuda.
You picked out a line, you started the ball on that line, you had good speed, you rolled in at a really comfortable pace.
Right.
Your read was pretty good. Those are 3 major parts of putting.
Right.
Another one of those would be like telling yourself you're a great putter, having a lot of confidence in what you're doing.
All right, 190 yards here, hole number 2, par 3. Into the wind.
Might see a hole in one out of Garrett today. We got the wind coming a little in and off the left,
Right.
kind of moving this direction.
Yeah.
So if we hit a draw into that wind, it's going to kind of knock the ball down, so it's not going to go as far in the air. So if you're going with a longer club, makes sense.
Right.
And we got a back pin here, and we have water on the left side. So our typical ball flight has been a draw,
Right.
when we hit a good shot. What would be a really big advantage here would be maybe that if you took this ball and put it over on this side of the tee box, right? So we're playing a draw, but we want to avoid the water.
Right.
So I'm going to give myself the best angle to, if I do overdraw something, it's not going to go in the water.
Right.
And we don't have much problems out right. So I'm
Right.
still going to try to hit my draw at the flag, since I have probably 15 or 20 paces left of that pin. But I'm going to fudge it a little bit and just tee it up over here on this side of the tee box.
A little quick.
Yeah, a little quick. Hit another one. If our one thing is set up is feeling like it's a little bit further away, if we get in there further away and it doesn't feel very comfortable, we'll just step off the shot and then step back in. You're behind the golf ball, right in line kind of with where you want the ball to fly.
Right.
You're seeing the shot shape up in the air, visualizing it. Nice big clearing breath. Step into the shot and execute.
Same ball flight.
Yep.
I actually hit 6 there. 5 was
Yeah,
too
I saw
much.
you switch. Makes sense.
It really felt good. I just
You are too close to it.
too close still.
Yeah.
I've always been the guy. Everything's perfect on the range. I get on the course, something happens mentally, and then I naturally go back to what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just like the brain likes being comfortable.
How can we get that to execute within shots on the range? How can we create a game on the range to where we actually have some scoring or some type of measurable standpoint for us to say, oh yes, we actually are getting better through what we're practicing, and then can I execute that on the golf course?
Right. Guys, let's get up to the green. I think we have some chips. Hopefully you get up now for par. Dead straight.
Just a half club short.
This man is unreal. He was saying we wanted a hole in one today, and he almost freaking did it.
Okay, hold on. Take me through what you're thinking on the golf shot here.
Well, we got a mud ball.
Okay.
So that's the first thing I thought of. I'm not really sure exactly how that's going to react. Mud's on the front.
Yep. Okay.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to do about that. Let's see, I got a 60 degree. Based off what we saw on the practice green, these greens are running a lot. I'm not going to have to carry this too far onto the green for it to get to the hole. I think it's going to run a little bit, and I'm probably going medium trajectory, just trying to pick a spot where I want to land it, and then hopefully just let it roll out.
Yeah. Walking from the cart, I'm kind of getting an overall picture of what the green looks like. We know this green is pretty flat where the tee is. You can see this front is a little elevated, it goes down a little dip, and then it's back up over this direction. So then I'm coming over, I'm assessing my lie, just like you did. A little bit of a mud ball coming out of the dormant grass. How's that going to react? I think you can get clean contact on that golf ball. Mud might affect it a little bit, but if you try to play for it affecting it, your likelihood that you guess correctly isn't great anyway. So I'm just kind of assuming, like, just play for it. As long as it's not affecting contact, it is what it is.
Right.
As this goes towards the hole, is that uphill or downhill?
Downhill. Well, once it gets close to the hole, it's up. It's like pretty flat or even uphill. Once again, with chipping especially, I am all feel. I see it and then I just react. I let my body kind of just take over.
Perfect.
That one was more what I was trying to hit, like more kind of like a spinny shot if anything. Okay, I will say whenever I hit a chip and it goes past the hole, I try and see what the ball does, and now like I'm assessing as I'm walking to the hole what I see already before I get to my ball as far as break goes.
Where do you think it's going to break? You obviously don't have to be this precise when you're on the course playing, and you probably wouldn't be, but from a training perspective and a practice perspective, if we're worrying about start line, I got the ball right in line with the tee. I'm going to stay behind you and kind of watch to see if you started it where you think you started it, and then we can assess, okay, if you started it here and the ball finished here, we know that you underread it and didn't hit it with enough speed. Right. So we can make some assessments off of where you think you're going to start the ball and where you actually start the ball in relationship. Was it a good putt? Was it a bad putt because you had bad start line? You have poor speed.
This read?
Yeah. And it looked like your speed was decent. But something that when I get in here and I'm looking at a putt and everything's telling me that it wants to go downhill to the left, that's when I get too narrow of a focus. That's where I like to take this big perspective on the putting.
I pulled that.
You did. Yeah, and we'll do stroke on putting green.
I feel like I learned something there. Ooh, a little bumpy.
A little bumpy. 260 club?
I don't have a 260 club right now, which is the worst thing ever. Which, by the way, this is something that I'm trying to do. Driver, and I have a 3-wood, and I have 4 wedges. So I have a 50, 52, 56, and 60. I think I'm gonna do 50, 54, and 58,
okay.
And then get a hybrid.
Okay.
Because I right now, like I thought it would be good, but I can't stand the gap between my 4-iron and my 3-wood because I have no in-betweener like 240 to 260 club. And that hybrid would be perfect.
Yeah. You know, as a longer hitter like yourself, you're gonna potentially have that 240 to 260 shot going into greens, and you're gonna have to play it off tees. Like this hole specifically, this looks like a super tight driving hole where you don't really have any place to hit a driver. You'd have to carry like 310 on the left side to hit driver over that bunker on the left.
Would you say for me to hit driver here?
No. So we have 270 or so to that bunker on the left, and it's like 310 over that bunker. And everything right of that bunker looks like it's gonna bounce and run off to the right into the water. So we have a really, really tight driving hole. So if I'm playing a golf tournament, I'm looking at this hole as gonna be a 3-shot par 5. I would hit a 230-yard shot into the biggest part of the fairway down there. And then I would have a 200-yard shot up to the biggest part of the fairway up there to the left, and then I'd have a wedge in my hand.
So I should hit 4-iron.
Yes.
I'm gonna go grab a 4-iron. That's a good play. And just so I can show you guys, this is kind of what we're looking at. It like goes to the left, there's water right, and then there's green there. It's intimidating. Obviously the wide part's right down there around 200 to 245, 260. So as you're saying, 3-wood would not be a smart play because if I hit it straight, I'm going in the water. If I hit it left, I'm going in the water.
I'm sure you feel like you're reaching for this golf ball, but I want you to start behind the golf ball, and I want you to see the shot, and I want you to pick out your target. So start back here.
All right. There we go. If you hit driver, this is one of the toughest golf holes you could play.
How far to the tree?
The tree's 195.
Okay. So
I might hit 7.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta get something that's gonna fly 205 in the air. On the Visage deal, it told us that it was 225 down to the water straight ahead. So we definitely want to get something past that tree, so we don't have to deal with the tree on our next shot. In past that tree, we have about a 50-yard wide area, 45-yard wide area. So probably not going to miss with a 7-iron there. I think 7's good. You'd even go up to 6 if you wanted to, but feel like you potentially can hit the 6 even within 10 yards of the water. Don't try to hit a 6.
Yeah.
Just, you've already played conservative off the tee. You might as well just continue the same route. So you have wedge in for the 3rd shot. I want you to pick out a spot, and I would go pretty left. Like, so you see those 4 or 5 trees that are up over there?
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
That's what I'm thinking.
The first tree over there. Yeah, just right of those chimneys out there.
Like,
perfect. Really good.
might be a little through, but that's not a problem. In a good spot there, guys.
118 flag.
Okay, little crosswind.
So anything drawing is going to kind of ride this wind a little bit, so it's going to help your ball go a little bit further. So we're going to factor that in when we're trying to figure out how to hit the shot. Elevation's a little bit up, probably 2 or 3 yards. Our lie's perfect. We're in the fairway. So I would try to hit like a 115 draw shot here.
I like it.
Try to land just a little right of that pin. Everything's going to spin a little left with the wind pushing it left and it's drawing that direction. So
I'm going to hit a little 56 then.
As we practice through on the range, feel what yardage you feel really comfortable at with a wedge, and then try not to go beyond that on the golf course, right? Sometimes you're going to sit there and try
Would
to
you suggest me hitting 52 here? If my 50 goes...
not necessarily. I'm just trying to get my head around kind of what your gapping and your yardages are. Let's try choking down an inch on the 52 and just taking a stock swing that we feel really comfortable with and see what kind of shot yardage that gets us. And it should have plenty of spin on it. This ball should come back and to the left a little bit. So now with choking down a little bit, you're going to get closer to the golf ball with your eyes. So it's okay to feel on this one that you're a little bit closer, but you still want to get that same feeling that you had where you were nice and over away from the golf ball. Be the right glove today. Awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not very often that I choke down, but that did feel good.
Yeah.
Like nice and controlled.
Yeah, you can do that with any club. Or you can figure out, and what we'll do on TrackMan is we'll get your yardages for your wedges at what feels like a half swing and a 3/4 swing for you, or if you're more strict and you want 9 and 10 and 11 o'clock, all these different things that, so we know exactly how far these goes, and then we'll create this chart for your wedges, and you'll have some overlap of some different numbers. So like your 52 at, let's say, a half swing might go 110 yards,
right,
where that's the same thing as your 3/4 or full 56-degree wedge. So figure out these gaps. You have different shot options going into greens because you have different situations going into greens. It's not always just hitting, you know, most of the time you're hitting a 7-iron, it's like, okay, I'm probably just gonna hit a stock 7-iron until conditions start to change.
Yeah,
so
no, I love that. All right, last time Hogan was hitting with me out here at Glen Eagles, I was filming a video with my irons only. I was playing with my new irons, and I didn't record him, and he made a wedge shot. So just in case, I'm recording this one. Oh, no, he did not.
Sit a little.
it'll
Spin.
come off that hill. Come on now.
Oh,
No,
did not spin.
What?
Oh,
That was so close to being perfect because mine spun back.
That felt like a pretty good shot. I just carried it like a yard too far, I think.
Pretty perfect distance control, maybe a yard long if anything.
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm looking at, guys. Left to right, a pretty good amount on the ridge.
This all started on the tee box, right? So we had a really difficult driving hole, and our final shot into this green was just a little chip wedge that we can control the distance on and we could be more aggressive on. So we took our point of being aggressive on this hole more at the pin with a wedge versus a driver off the tee.
I like it. I see a solid 2 feet.
Okay, uphill or downhill?
Uphill a little bit.
Okay, I would look at uphill, downhill from the putt's breaking towards me, right?
Right.
So I would look at it from over here on this side that it's breaking on.
Okay.
It's just a little bit easier to see. Now I would get down and I would read it like a putt. Is the ball level, above, or below the hole?
So you can see a grain change too, right?
A little bit. Yeah, not very much, just a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see it's a little shinier over here, a little darker over there. But what would you say? Would you say that the ball is above or below the hole?
It looks below the hole a little bit, no?
Yeah, it's pretty level.
It's pretty level, actually.
Yeah.
That's what
so
I'm
when you're
thinking.
questioning it a lot like that, right, we're going to play the putt as level speed.
Right. I like that.
So it's not as downhill as we initially thought it was.
I see a solid 2 feet, honestly.
Okay.
Maybe in there.
Okay.
I feel comfortable with that.
Okay.
Just didn't hit hard enough.
Okay, we had a good read. Our ball started on our line. We just didn't have enough speed.
Right.
So now we can start assessing putts correctly. And then we can start to pick up on our tendencies. So outside of 10 feet, I tend to leave my putt short or whatever it is. We can.
I do miss on the low side of the hole more often than not.
So
I think that's a habit of mine.
Yeah, so you probably underread, right? But if we are going through this in more of a way of, I have a start line idea, I have an end target idea, we're able to assess each putt as an individual putt.
No, I really like that. As I was just saying, if anything, tendency of leaving those putts short and missing them a little bit on the low side, that's been a habit of mine for a while, so that's good. It's good knowledge there. All right, guys, that is about it for today's video on-course lesson with Brian Ziegler over here. Once again, shout out to him for coming out here today and giving me an in-depth course management, all the above lesson on the course. If you guys want to go follow him, I'll link his socials in the description down below. Once again, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to stay tuned for the next one, guys. Until next time, peace.